to use
Really sure.
Right, and then so once you have that data, then you'll have a better idea as to whether it's, other school districts would be a good idea for other school districts to adopt that or not.
Absolutely. And one of the concerns, because I wrote this book trying to be as objective as I possibly could. It takes a little bit of humility to do a meta-analysis, because you have to be willing to go with the numbers, whatever they might be, whatever direction they point towards, if you're really a person of integrity. And what that means is you have to be prepared on a regular basis to put aside part of your previous notions and so forth, and say, well, it'd be one thing if this was a localized study and you could say, well, the findings are just based on that locale. But when you're talking about every study that has been done on a topic, you have to conclude that, well, more than likely there's something here. And there is one finding that arose that I think is very noteworthy, that we need to pay attention to, and that is that the effects for faith-based schools tend to be greater in the United States of America than they do in Europe. Now, what is the significance of that for us in the United States? Well, what it is in Europe, where they do have more sophisticated school choice programs than they do here, there's much more government involvement in private education. The government sets certain standards, they set certain requirements and so forth. And what the Europeans are concerned about is that they feel that a lot of times the increased government entanglement causes them to compromise some of their religious convictions and some of the strengths that religious schools bring to the marketplace, so to speak. And so one of the reasons why it would be important to actually have school choice programs in place to be able to examine these issues is to address the question of, well, okay, it sure looks good on the surface, and clearly faith-based schools have an advantage, but would some of that advantage that faith-based schools enjoyed, would it abate if there was a greater government entanglement in their affairs? And that's one of the questions that really can only be answered if, in fact, we have these experimental school choice programs.
Dr. William Jeynes, again, the book is School Choice, A Balanced Approach. Thanks for having us.